My name is Sam. I live in Switzerland, near Zurich, about half an hour outside of Zurich.
Perfect. And Sam, so just briefly, how did you become an Exeter City fan over in Switzerland?
I spent about 3.5 months in Exeter studying English. I decided to go to Exeter because I met some guys from Barnstable at the Grasshopper Zurich home game, and that's how the connection started.
And how often would you say you've been back to Exeter since you were here for 3.5 months?
Approximately like maybe 20 times. I can't say exactly.
And when was the last time you were over? What was the last game you watched?
The last game was in 2023, in end of February, the Cambridge home game.
You must have some pretty special memories from that time living here. You went to a few away games as well, I understand.
Exactly, yeah. Well, most memorable was probably my last away game to Halifax. We went on a minibus to Halifax. We even saw some snow, which I didn't expect at the time. Yeah, it was. The weather was really grotty, and the ground wasn't that spectacular. Some of the stands were, I don't know, not fully built or just on the way to crumble away. Yeah, it was a special moment because all of the people that I've met in this time, and I knew it was the last away game, so yeah, it made it very special.
Uh, Obviously, do you find it easy to be an overseas supporter? How do you consume the matches? Are you able to watch them?
Um, Not the whole games, but on the what's the show called on ITV?
The highlight show, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I watch that regularly and keep just updated via Facebook and the website.
And how do you find it? Do you have a good group of supporters in terms of other Exeter City supporters that you talk to regularly?
Yeah, well, there are a couple of Exeter supporters in Switzerland now. I would say it's maybe like around 15 people, maybe, that also go regularly to Exeter. And I still have some strong connections to people from the NDGs and also people living in Exeter.
And those people that are in Switzerland, do you sometimes travel with them back to Exeter?
Yes, yes. But always in different groups. Sometimes now, because a friend of mine got married to a Servette Geneva supporter. Now there are also a couple of Geneva supporters that travel to Exeter to watch Exeter. So it's growing, the fan base in Switzerland. That's it.
That's amazing. I think we spoke to someone in Mexico recently,
Yeah.
and there's a little group of Exeter fans over in Mexico now. So it's great to see that Exeter City is being spread worldwide. If you had to say some of your favourite memories, you mentioned Halifax there. Is there another particular game or particular moment that you were there to see that stands out?
Yeah, well, obviously, the game at Wembley, the end of 2007, 2008 season, that was brilliant. That day to remember.
And do you remember how you celebrated that, or how did you make a big? Did you come over for a whole weekend? Did you fly there and back in the same day? How did you take in that game?
we arrived the day before the game and left the day after the game. But after the game, we somehow most of the energy had gone because it was such an intense game till the last minute. And yeah, I think we surprisingly went to bed quite early that day.
Over the years then, all your time supporting Exeter, is there any players that you have loved? Who's been some of your favourite players, or who's your favourite player now?
Well, surely back in the days, must be Richard Logan. That was always a favourite of mine, even though he was on the bench more times than I would liked. But he left a very good impression.
And in terms of players, current players, is there anyone that you really enjoyed watching, or perhaps that was in the squad when you last came over?
I'd say, well, when I last came over, it was obviously Stansfield. So that was amazing, That
was a great moment towards the end of the season. How would you say? How would you assess this season from an overseas perspective, and what you've been able to understand of how it's been going?
Well, it was quite of a roller coaster ride.
Well, sure.
Start of the season was brilliant. I was getting almost a bit hopeful, and then there was a huge drop, and now the end of the season was very good again, and I think in terms of what I would have expected at the start of the season, we ended the season up really well. Yeah.
And just finally, then, have you got plans to come back for the new season?
Not concrete plans yet, but I'll make sure I'll catch a game next season. Most definitely. Yeah.
Cool.